Friday, October 10th, 2025, Manhattan SDNY Federal Courthouse. Just 7 days earlier, on October 3rd, the entire world watched as Sean Diddy Combs was handed a 50-month prison sentence. Many believed that was the end of the story, that the storm had finally passed. But they were wrong, because this Friday, those heavy wooden courtroom doors swung open again. Cassie Ventura and her legal team had filed a motion to reopen the case, claiming they had uncovered new and crucial evidence, proof that the public had never seen before. And now, this Friday morning, the tension was electric because Diddy's freedom was hanging by a thread once again. Outside, Manhattan was chaos. News vans lined the streets. Reporters shouted over one another for live updates. Flashbulbs flickered like lightning, blinding officers as they held back swarming crowds. Helicopters thundered overhead. Some fans chanted, "Free Diddy," while others waved signs demanding justice for Cassie.
Using other inmates' phones to try to get in the outside and contact people. What would you say to him right now, knowing he's in the hot seat big time? Stop! Stop!
Inside the courthouse, the atmosphere felt suffocating. Every journalist, every lawyer, every spectator knew something monumental was about to unfold. Diddy sat quietly at the defense table, the same cold stare he'd worn at sentencing. But this time, the swagger was gone. No smirk, no composure, just fear. Because Cassie wasn't here to talk. She was here to prove. Before we go deeper into this jaw-dropping hearing, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another update like this. Now, back to the story. At 9 a.m. sharp, Judge Aaron Subramanian stepped into the room. One slam of the gavel echoed like thunder. Cameras weren't allowed, but the silence was louder than any broadcast. Cassie entered next, flanked by U.S. Marshals and her attorney. She didn't look in Diddy's direction, not once. But the moment she raised her right hand to testify, Diddy finally lifted his eyes. And for the first time, his expression cracked. Panic. Her lawyer slid a thick brown envelope across to the clerk. Inside were photographs, screenshots from what they called the truth tape. Each still image was time-stamped and verified, showing moments from those infamous private parties Diddy once hosted. The ones people whispered about, but never proved. Cassie explained the source. The footage had come from a hotel's hidden security system. Footage Diddy believed had been destroyed years earlier. Gasps rippled through the courtroom. Even veteran reporters sat frozen. Diddy turned his face away, jaw tight, refusing to look at the evidence that could end him. Cassie pressed on, her tone trembling but fierce. He made those nights look glamorous. But behind the lights, behind the music, it was manipulation. It was pain. And it was real. Agnifilo shot to his feet, objecting loudly, calling the evidence prejudicial. But the judge shut him down instantly. "Sit down, Mr. Agnifilo. The evidence stays." Her lawyer slid a thick brown envelope across to the clerk. Inside were photographs, screenshots from what they called the truth tape. Each still image was time-stamped and verified, showing moments from those infamous private parties Diddy once hosted. But ones people whispered about but never proved. Cassie explained the source. The footage had come from a hotel's hidden security system. Footage Diddy believed had been destroyed years earlier. Gasps rippled through the courtroom. Even veteran reporters sat frozen. Diddy turned his face away, jaw tight, refusing to look at the evidence that could end him. Cassie pressed on, her tone trembling but fierce. He made those nights look glamorous, but behind the lights, behind the music, it was manipulation. It was pain, and it was real. Agnifilo shot to his feet, objecting loudly, calling the evidence prejudicial. But the judge shut him down instantly. "Sit down, Mr. Agnifilo. The evidence stays." For the first time, Diddy's confidence shattered. His legal shield was cracking. Supporters sat in silence as the world outside refreshed live streams for updates. This wasn't just a trial anymore. It was a reckoning. Cassie turned toward the jury, eyes burning with both sorrow and defiance. He always believed money could protect him, she said. But money can't bury the truth. That line landed like a verdict before the verdict. Everyone understood this hearing wasn't about one man's sentence anymore. It was about power and what happens when it finally breaks. The room seemed darker now. The judge signaled for the footage to begin. On the screen appeared the first frame, grainy, time-stamped. A luxury Miami hotel suite, late 2017. Diddy laughed with a crowd around him. Then the image shifted, and the laughter stopped. Cassie appeared, years younger, visibly anxious. Trapped in the corner of the frame. The gallery fell dead silent. Reporters lowered their pens.
How do you feel about this program that he enrolled into?
Well, the programs that they put him in is because of he's getting close to release, or he may be released. So the Bureau of Prisons for the federal government has to give him a program based on his crime that he committed.
This wasn't a tabloid headline anymore. It was raw truth, unfolding live. Cassie's attorney stood beside the display, narrating calmly. This isn't rumor. This isn't gossip. This is evidence. Edna Philo jumped up again. Your Honor, this footage was obtained illegally. Overruled. Judge Subramanian cut in sharply. Continue. Diddy's breathing grew heavier. He turned around, scanning the crowd, searching for a friendly face. But no one met his eyes. Cassie watched quietly, tears in her eyes but strength in her voice. She wasn't there for revenge. She was there for release. Years of silence were finally being broken, and the world was listening. When the clip ended, Cassie turned toward Diddy, calm, unflinching. You told me no one would ever believe me, she said. You said power would protect you. But look where power got you now. The room froze. Jurors shifted. Tension was unbearable. Outside, a crowd swelled behind barricades. Live streams running worldwide. Headlines flashed. Cassie's new evidence shocks SDNY. Diddy faces life. Inside, time felt suspended. Cassie's hands trembled, but her voice didn't. Her lawyer slid another folder forward. Photos, documents, statements from hotel staff who'd worked Diddy's private events. Their stories aligned perfectly with hers. Same locations, same patterns, same silence. These people stayed quiet for years, Cassie's attorney said. They came forward now because justice only works when truth is spoken. The judge nodded gravely. Proceed. Cassie drew a deep breath. I didn't come here for fame. I came because the truth deserves to be heard. For too long, power has buried stories like mine. It ends with me. The courtroom sketch artist's pencil moved non-stop. Reporters typed furiously. Then came another clip from the truth tape. A blurred woman sobbed. He told me no one would believe me because he's Diddy. Gasps echoed. One juror covered her mouth. Even the judge leaned back, disturbed. The court cannot ignore this. Diddy sat motionless, shrinking under the weight of his own empire. For the first time, the world was seeing what power had tried to hide. Then, a surprise witness, a former member of Diddy's security team, entered quietly, escorted by agents. Her voice shook but stayed steady. I worked those parties. We confiscated phones. We made sure no one saw what really happened inside. It wasn't glamour. It was control. Whispers rippled across the room. When she mentioned the truth tape, jaws tightened. Everyone knew it existed, she said. He called it his insurance, but Cassie found it first. Diddy's fists clenched. His confidence was gone. Cassie looked down, tears glistening, relieved, not vengeful. Years of silence were finally breaking. The judge rubbed his temples. If this evidence continues to hold. Whispers erupted. A reassessment. Everyone knew what that meant. By afternoon, the streets outside were chaos. Breaking! Diddy's fate may change forever, anchors shouted. Inside, silence fell again as the judge returned to the bench. Mr. Combs, he said firmly, you were sentenced to 50 months. But after reviewing new testimony and evidence, the court cannot overlook the pattern of coercion, abuse, and manipulation presented here. No name, no fame. No fortune stands above the law. Diddy's lawyer rose to object. Your Honor. Sit down, the judge interrupted. The evidence speaks for itself. Cassie's attorney squeezed her hand. Cassie stared straight ahead, ready. Then came the words that shook the world. For the crimes of coercion, assault, and abuse of power, Sean Combs is hereby sentenced to life imprisonment. A collective gasp filled the room. Cassie's tears fell quietly as the judge's final words echoed. Let this remind the world, fame never outweighs truth. ...
He was going to kill Biggie. She knew it was going to happen. She was purposefully not by her husband's side that night.
Outside, reporters screamed breaking headlines. Protesters shouted, cameras flashed, and sirens wailed. Inside, Marshall stepped forward. Diddy didn't resist. His hands trembled as the cuffs clicked shut. Cassie didn't move. She just watched, calm, drained, but free. As he was let out, their eyes met one last time. No words, no music, only silence. And in that silence, an empire collapsed. The same city that once echoed his songs now hummed with a different rhythm. The sound of justice finally speaking aloud.
What about the people that say Biggie was asking for him coming to LA so soon after Tupac got killed, and him getting on the radio rapping Long Kiss Goodnight?
Man, you would get 100 people in the room, and out of the 100 people, probably 3 would say it was all right for Big to be in LA. 97% of those people would say he had no business in LA at that time. We all knew that. Why would Puff rent studio time? Come on, man, look. You gotta look at what people do, man. You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk, he couldn't run.